Turn that on. Somebody said it. Yes. So when you're going to burn something, it means you're going to react it with oxygen. Now, why did I write O2? See, even though you've been on spring break, you remember that stuff, right? That's good. Now, how would you classify this equation? We did that in the past too, didn't we? Combustion. This is a combustion reaction. And what are the products of complete combustion? Products on the right side of the arrow, right? You should know this. Everybody should know that. What are the products of a combustion reaction? Say it.
Carbon.
Sorta. Not just carbon. Incomplete combustion, you might get soot, plain old carbon. What are the two products of a combustion reaction? Carbon and what? What's that called? Carbon dioxide, and what else? Water, okay? Anyway, so if you burn on your gas grill, when you burn that, you actually are producing carbon dioxide and you're producing water. And the water is usually in the form of steam. You probably don't see it, right, like that. All right, so what I'm going to do here, it says here, where's the number? Oh, I can make up a number, okay. I'm going to start out with 100 grams of this stuff here. Now, on purpose, you're going to see me do something kind of strange here in just a minute. And I'm doing it on purpose, okay? Because I'm going to try to teach you how this works. So I'm going to get another colored pen out. The question is, what I want to know is, what if you were interested in knowing how many grams of oxygen would you need to do that? Do you ever watch a movie called The Martian? How many people have seen that? I don't want to give it. I'm not going to give it away, but an astronaut's kind of stranded on Mars, and he has to. He doesn't really have enough food to survive, so he has to do some pretty fancy science. He sets up his own little garden, and it's cold there, so he has to have heat. So he does a little chemistry there, and then I won't give it away, but something happens, something goes wrong, and he figures out, darn, his stoichiometry was off by a little bit. He forgot about something, and something happened to him. So I'm not going to give it away. It's actually a very good movie. Would you say it's pretty good? Did you like it? Or you just like Matt Damon? You know, okay. Anyway, it's really, I think it's a movie worth watching. I liked it. It has some good science, but also has other good stuff in there. So anyway, what I'm going to do is, let's say you want to know that, or maybe you want to know how many grams of carbon dioxide were given off. I need to know. That's why you don't want to have barbecue grills inside. You can get carbon dioxide or even carbon monoxide, and that can kill you. Okay, and what about this? What if you're interested in how much water is being produced? Like that. See, in The Martian, every time he had something burning, combustion, if you could trap that steam and turn it back into water, you'd have something to drink, wouldn't you? And that was very important to have drinking water. So astronauts right now, did you know that when we go in the space shuttle, what do they do there? I mean, they actually recycle as much as they can. And what am I doing when I eat food? I'm giving off carbon dioxide and water. So there's a lot of water vapor in the air. They can actually take that water vapor and turn it back into drinking water. So anything you can recycle, they can do that. All right, ready? So the question is, how do I figure these out? How do I figure out how many grams here? Doesn't it? By the way, I need to tell you one more thing. Don't ever do anything in this chapter unless you have a balanced equation. All right, so I want you to try to balance that equation. See if you can balance a combustion equation, okay? Let's try it. Try to balance the equation. I haven't done that for a while. If you remember, when we did combustion equations, some of those were the hardest ones. What was the rule in combustion? It said, don't put an odd number in front of the water. Does anybody have an odd number in front of the water? If you do, you need to double it. Let's take a look here. Ready? Scan through here. I noticed there were 8 hydrogens there. There are only 2 here. Let's try it. Let's put a 4 there. And that gives me 8 hydrogens, 8 hydrogens. Now let's look at carbons. I have 3 carbons here. I only have 1 here. Now I have 3 carbons. Did you on that? Now we got one more thing to look at. How many oxygens? 3 times 2 is what? Everybody. 6 oxygens. 4 times 1, that's 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10. Everybody okay on balancing? You have to be able to balance the equation in this chapter, okay? You have to. Now, here's my next question. Why don't I just go right here and go directly right over to here? Why don't I just go from 100 grams here and calculate how many grams here? And do you know why? This is where the weird part comes in, okay? You can't. You can't go from grams of propane to grams of that. Why not? Because there's a tree in the way. What about going from grams of oxygen over to grams? No, there's a tree in the way. No. What about going from grams of carbon dioxide to grams of water? No, there's a big tree in the way. And you say to yourself, what kind of tree is that? Anybody know what kind of tree this is? It's chemistry, isn't it? All right. Wait a minute. So the thing is, that's not bad. That's your spring break. Come on, spring break.
Pretty good one.
All right, thanks. Anyway, so what I'm doing is, the reason this becomes weird, I'm going to put a tree there, and you don't have to draw a tree after today. After your notes, you don't have to draw a tree. But I want you to remember, don't ever try to go from here to here. It won't work. So now, what I have to do, it's going to get more weird. How can I get over here? I know what I could do. I could go down, and I could dig a tunnel. And I could dig a tunnel down into here, and dig a tunnel across, and then dig a tunnel back up. Yeah. And you know who digs tunnels and they live underground? You know who does that? Moles. Yes. And so what I'm going to do is, if I want to do this problem, the first step is to get down into the mole world. And then I got to go this way, and then I'm going to go up. And that's how you're going to do this problem. Are you ready? Let's do step 1. Step 1. What's the given? What's the given here? What's the only thing I gave you? What's the only number I gave you? 100 grams of what? Propane. All right, now, so what we're going to do is we're going to use factor label. Now, you're supposed to be really good at this. Matter of fact, you're supposed to be certified at this. Tell me everything you know about propane. Let's go over here. Now, it's been a while since you've done this. I'll go over here on the side. 1 mole of propane equals what? 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Careful. It's been a while. It's been over 10 days since I've seen you. What kind of a compound is this? How do you think? Yes. Why'd you say molecules? That's what now? Not gases, but they're nonmetals. When you have 2 nonmetals in a compound, it's molecules, right? What if you have a metal and a nonmetal? What do we call those? Formula units. What if it's an element on the periodic table? What goes after Avogadro's number? atoms, right? Okay, now what else? What else does it equal? What's the molar mass? What's the molar mass of C3H8? Does everybody have a periodic table? All right, what's the molar? See if you can figure it out, okay? I can do this myself. I can do it, but I want you to be able to do it. What's the molar mass of propane? Ooh, how'd you get that so fast? Wow, okay. So 3 times 12, carbon's 12, right? 3 times 12 is 36. 36 plus 8 is what?
44.
Wow, I'm impressed. All right, now watch what I'm doing here, okay? We've actually done this 20 times, 40 times in here. My first step says, now look at me, this is much more important than you think. In words, May's going to help me. May? In words, what do you want to change into what? I want to change, I'll help you out. You want to change grams of propane into propane, right? So how do you get, what's here? Let's get rid of grams of propane and change it into what? Moles of propane. Now, where do I get my numbers? I come over here, and hey, 1 mole of propane is 44 grams. And you notice that I didn't use this time, not this time, did I? I didn't use that. Everybody got it? So let's go ahead and do that. Now, I'm going to ask you to use your calculators. We're going to use calculators a whole chapter. I'm going to ask you, let's not be in scientific number right now, not in scientific notation. Let's not do that. Let's have regular numbers right now. But I'm going to ask you to never go below 3 significant figures. All right? All right, so if you put that calculator and tell me what you got. I have it written down over here. I did this over another class, but can you tell me what you get here? If everybody do that, 100 divided by 44, what do you get? 2.27. You should have gotten 2.27. Is that what everybody got? Now, when you round to 3 sig figs, you do look at the fourth one, don't you? Is this rounded to 3 sig figs? Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Now, that's pretty good. We're done with that part. You got that? But now, we're not done because I need to do this. Now, this is something you have never, ever done in this class ever. And I'm going to show you. It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. When you're a mole, when you want to go down in the mole world, you will use the molar mass. You're going to find out later when you come up out of the mole world, you'll use molar mass. But when you go sideways, that's step number 2. Wait, what number did you say me get? I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and put this down. 2.27 what? Moles? Okay, so that's number 2. Ready? You started with 2.27 moles of C3H8, right? Okay, now, Daniel, help me out here. What would you like to do in words, and this is all mole world down here, change moles of methane and what? Into what?
Grams.
No, that's up here. I'm still in the mole world. Moles of propane into what?
Molecules.
No, I'm in the mole world. Who lives underground? And that's what I wanted to teach you. If it's moles, it's down here. If it's anything except moles, you're going to find up here. I'm going to change moles of propane, and I'd like to convert it into moles of... That's right. Everybody get this? So watch, when you want to go sideways, moles of that, change it to moles of that. So this has to go away and change it to moles of oxygen, O2. Now, this is something you've never done before, okay? It even has a special name to it. It's called a mole ratio. And I did not understand this when I was your age. I know nobody taught me to do this. I didn't know what factor label was. I was just taught to do it like they did in the book. And I really didn't understand exactly what I was doing. That's why I teach it differently to you, so you kind of understand it. All right, now watch what happens here, okay? You've never done this before in your life, okay? You know how we balance equations? You think, oh, I know why you balance equations. Just some kind of game, some chemistry game. You just want to see if I can balance an equation. No, it's much more than that. You know when you balance an equation, you know why we do it? I'm not God. I'll tell you what he did. Did he say that 1 mole of that will react with 1 mole of that? Is that what he said? When he designed everything, did he say 1 mole of that will react with 1 mole of that? Is that what he said? No. He said that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. If you want this reaction to take place, if you have 1 mole of that, you better have 5 times more moles of oxygen. I didn't do that. I didn't do it, did I? But those coefficients mean everything when you go sideways in the mole world. Now, watch right here. If I look at the mole ratio, that means I'm going to get the numbers from the coefficients. Okay, here we go. For this equation, look right here, for every 1 mole of methane, how many moles of oxygen do you need? Is everybody sure I got those numbers? Yes, no? I looked at the coefficients, and that's called a mole ratio, right? And so if that number is 1, this better be 5 times bigger than that. What if this number is 2? What's this have to be? I lost you. Ready? If this number is 1, this better be 5 times bigger than 1, isn't it? What if this number is 2? It better be what? 10. What if this number is 100? What does this number have to be? 500. What if this number is 2.27? Then what? Help me out. What are we going to get here?
11.35.
What's your next number after the 5?
My calculator doesn't say any number.
Oh, even?
Yeah.
It went, okay. Did everybody have 11.5? 11.35? I don't know why the other class had 11.36. Did everybody get 11.35? Okay. Oh, that's interesting. And what units? What units here? What is this? Okay, I'm going to write that number in here. What is it? 11.35? Okay, you all right with this? Everybody okay on that? You've never done this before. You've never changed moles of one object into moles of another. And we're doing this with the coefficients. All right, now I got one more step. I came down with step 1. I came across with step 2. And how did I do step 3? All right, I'm going to have Sierra. Let's see if we can do it. Not Sierra. Sorry. What is Isabel. Sorry. Does Sierra normally sit there? I don't know. Isabel, sorry. I haven't seen you for a long time. My fault. I like your hair. Change your hair a little bit. I like it. Isabel, in words, tell me what I have to do here. Change what? Moles of O2 into? Say it? Yes. Okay, so here we go. We have moles of O2. And you want to change it moles of O2 into grams of O2. Okay, now, how do we do that? Just like up here, we knew how to write the 3 equivalents for propane, didn't we? How do you write the 3 equivalents for oxygen? Let's see, Zach, help me out here. What are the 3 things you know about oxygen? It's a little tricky one because it's not just O, it's O and O together. So it's a non-metal compound. So what are you going to put? Yep, molecules. Equals one more. What's the molar mass? Yes, 32 what? Yes. Excellent. Isn't this nice? Yep, you've been out of school for a long time. You're still coming back to you. That's good. That's good stuff. So here we go. Ready? Let's get our numbers. 1 mole of O2 is the same as 32 grams of O2. I think we can do it now. We can do it. All right, so put this in the calculator, and we should be able to fill in that number right there. All right, go ahead and do that. See what you get. And I'll have everybody just kind of, if you have a neighbor close to you, just tell them what you got and see if you match them, okay? See if you match them. How many grams of oxygen do you need? You guys match? Okay. What's your number? 36.32?
363.
Oh, 363.2. Did everybody get 363.2? What do you think so far? Not bad? Now, can I tell you that the way I'd like you to do this kind of problem is instead of doing this and this and this, what I would do is I do that, I do that, and I do that. So you could actually do everything at once. But for right now, is this feeling more comfortable if I do it this way?
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm going to have you, and you're going to sit with somebody. What I'd like you to do is I would like to know, let's do, let's see. Okay. I would like you to do the same 3 steps, but I want you to tell me, these 2 rows, you figure out how many grams of carbon dioxide are going to be formed, and then you guys, you'll be doing how many grams of water, okay? So you guys will get together and do this one, and then you 3 can get together, and you 4 can get together. And then what we'll do is, I want to see step 1, step 2, and step 3, same way. And remember, can you go from here? Can you go from grams of O2 to grams of CO2? Can you just go here? Why not? There's a tree in the way, isn't there? So what do you have to do? You have to go, and by the way, can I tell you something? If you want to start with this, you can go step 1, step 2, step 3. See? You can bypass that, can't you? Or you can go, whoop, whoop, whoop. You know what else you can do? I can start with there. Anyway, so you guys are doing the carbon dioxide, doing the water, right? All right, let's go ahead and go. I'll walk around the room, see if you're doing it right. And we only have about 3 more minutes, but I think you can do it in about 3 minutes.
This is a group of 4.
You can have 4 or 2, too. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you guys are 3 to get together. Like this is the first time you've seen this, you gotta talk it out. Say, how do you get it? What's my given? Want that to be your given up here? Let's write 100 grams of C3H8O. That over 1, that's my given, right? Now, in words, what do you want to do? Grams of propane to what? Moles of propane. So let's go ahead and do that. We can practice for it.
I think
We did that before, so look identical to this first one.
you can start with that one, or you can start with oxygen. Start with oxygen. I feel like that would be easier.
Right now, do that one? Okay, now, instead of doing, and that's step 1, right? And we're gonna get the
You can
shape
start
of the
with that
same
one.
number we got here, didn't we?
But the 360.
Let's go ahead and write that down. No. That's gonna be the answer.
Wait, see,
And watch your labels, okay? Put your labels in C3H8. Okay, so now that's moles of what? Okay, now what's my next step? We're gonna go all the way over to where? We're going all the way over to where?
I guess you would say.
Moles of propane.
No, we just,
When they go
just
sideways,
CO2.
your numbers come from what? Yeah, the mole ratio, the coefficient. All right, keep going. All right. Now, this is the first time we've ever done it, so if it didn't make sense, that's okay, because it's the very first time we've done it, right? But I can tell you the picture, it really helps a lot. So you start with this over here, 100 grams?
You're in our group.
In our group.
Okay, you can do
You're
that.
in our group.
Now, what do you have to do? You have to change moles of oxygen into, grams of oxygen into what?
That's what we do.
Moles of now you're starting, so then wait, sorry, relook. I gotta look at the picture, okay? You're saying that you started with, where's that? Oh, I see, 11.35. You know what, we can do that. You can actually start from here and say, I'm gonna go over here, and then up. We can do that, so say the words, change moles of O2 to what? Don't do that, just scratch out, get rid of that, I'm working on that for you. You should, this is still called CO2, isn't it? No. Balance with the coefficients, right? It's still CO2. Yeah, don't do that kind of stuff. How many waters did you have? How many waters on here? 4? And 3 here? And what was it, the 5? Okay. So, yeah, don't distribute like math class. 3 carbon dioxide and 4 H2Os. Okay. So now, watch now. You're gonna start with this, that's fine. But in Word, you're gonna change moles of O2 to what? No, I'm still in the mole world. See, I'm underground, aren't I? Yeah, so change moles of O2 to moles of CO2. Now, where do you get the numbers? Coefficients.
How many
Now look here, we go sideways, and look at the coefficients, ready? In this balance equation, every 5 moles of O2, you're gonna get 3 moles of CO2. Now we'll go ahead and do that, and what that would give you, I'll give you the number you want here, right? Try that. Here, just show her that, right, over another table. Now, I had, this group actually said, I think I'll just start with moles of O2, because I figured that out before. You can do that. You can start with moles of O2. Okay, it's the first day, isn't it? It's the first day. We'll do this many minutes. All right, so I was looking here. What do you want to start with? You want to start with this guy? Okay, that's grams of what? In Word, you're gonna change grams of O2 to what? Yeah, moles of O2.
Neither one.
Grams of O2.
Godzilla dude killed my team.
Whatever you want to get rid of, what should it be? You want to change it to moles of O2. What do you know about
They
that?
ended up like teaming together to fight this like robot guy. There's like a robot control back and dude. So they just like wasted on fucking robot that fighting them. So they teamed up
And you should get the exact same number of
beat
members.
its ass and then fight each other.
I bet it's gonna be 11 point.
The first time they were like mad at each other. After like beat it down.
Now, you guys doing the CO2 now? Now, let's start over here, use this for step 2.
It's funny though, because there's like
Save words, I wanna change moles of O2 to what?
the Kong dude. So like hero, it's the funniest thing. She's F.
So whatever else you got here, that's step 2.
She's like doing something.
Of O2. Now what I wanna do is, what we do here. This is something you've never done before. And whenever you go sideways in the mole world, look at your coefficients. Moles of O2, you say change it to moles of CO2, right?
I mean, if I knew what happened, I still probably wouldn't.
In words, I want to change moles of O2 to moles of CO2.
Action back.
Now, where do you get your numbers? Coefficients of the balance equation. There you go. Put that in calculator. Now, when you don't see a coefficient, you want, like, this is math,
I watched the Godzilla one.
There's been multiple ones.
I watched the first one.
You're gonna be able to fill that box in right there.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna watch that. I don't know that stuff.
Kind of like you go ahead.
There's Todd. I feel bad about it, but I did.
We're going from here to normal.
He never showed us.
Now, we're almost done. Now we have, we can do a normal box here. We got a normal box here. That's 6 point.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now we have one more step. All right, you're right. All right, hey, listen up. We only have 2 minutes. We only have 2 minutes, so what I wanna do is, I keep your tests until the end of the year, and then you get to use them to study for the exam, okay? So let me go back here, and if I, show it to you, complete, all right? How about that? All right, Daniel, you're on top, so Daniel, come here. And, on deck is Julia, and then, Madison. Let's have those people, these three people.
That's the worst.
Your second one was better. You'll get your total grade will start to down to the 82 out of 100. Okay, there you go. All right, next, Daniel. First test was that right here. That gives you an average of 150. So we're going to that grade with that grade. All right. One time. Madison. First test was that. Fantastic. Your average would be 100. This will be replaced with Check. This is all you, right? This is all you, this is all you by yourself? That's just, all right, now, next thing, if that's all you, and you can get that kind of grade, I can't get it all. I'm being serious, We're not in order. Okay.
I mean, I came in like all the time.
Okay, and that's, I'm not saying you have to do that, but I want you to do that, okay? This is great. This is great. I can't ask for more. See you. You all right? You don't want to do a retest anyway, because you can't get any more. All right, Layla's next. All right, first test is that right there. This one was much higher. And so your average would be 50. All right, May. Okay, first test. Okay. Look at this. Average is 80. What I'm saying is, this is brought it up. And, so just keep doing this test. All right. Lane. Wait, I'll do it. She's
Actually, no,
Very good, very good. All right, Delane, next one.
I told Will, like, yeah, we need to.
I'll see, there you go.
I think that leave that 130 put off.
What now?
130 put off.
You know, I was, except for the last hour of the Masters. And I thought, well, I had a Friday night, 5 holes to go. He only wins by one.
Yeah, the one dude was kinda like, the dude who got hurt, he like, on the 17th hole, he hit it like water on the par 30. Yeah, he was cutting it close, and then he hit in the water and triple bogeyed the par 30.
And they show highlights every year, the Masters, you know, sometimes you have a big lead, okay, a 5-stroke lead, the other one got one.
But the Wake Forest guy, who got second,
The young guy.
yeah, he's gonna be.
Anyway, all right, so when are you guys leaving?
1:30.
Okay, I wish you were right.
Yeah, we got a match in like.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's a perfect day. It's a perfect day.
That's beautiful.
Of course, though, you said before, especially hole number 12. I wish you highlights of 12. Because every time you try to go for it, it's a bank.
And that course is hard, like the green, really hard. Everything bounces right off. Yeah, it plays some players' advantages.
And yet, at one time, we had a rain delay on Saturday. After the rain delay, President noticed for it.
Yeah.
All right, hey, wait a minute, let me turn this off.